In this week's cruise news, a luxury ship faces a serious illness outbreak, a major cruise line orders 2 massive next-gen ships, and a heartbreaking incident leaves a family devastated mid-voyage. We've got the facts, the fallout, and what this means for your next cruise. Let's dive in. Hey, I'm Jordan with Beyond the Dock. Today is Monday, May 19th, 2025. Our first story today is coming out of MSC. They just ordered 2 new massive next-gen ships. These ships are all LNG powered. They're part of their World Class category. And right now they're just called World Class 5 and World Class 6. They're expected to be released in 2029 and 2030. These ships will have next-gen dual engines aiming to reduce methane slip by 30%. They will also be prepared to use alternate fuels like bio and synthetic LNG. And this aligns with MSC's goal of net zero greenhouse gases by 2050. These vessels will also have shore power connection so that they don't have to run the engines while they're at ports. So MSC is really growing. They are coming out with ships frequently. They still have more coming up in their world-class category. They are serious about cruising in the Caribbean. Not all of these ships will come to the Caribbean. Some will stay in Europe, but they are a player for sure. Story number 2 is another gastrointestinal disease outbreak. Now, this occurred on Regent Seven Seas, their Seven Seas Explorer ship, and there were about 600 passengers on board and 22 came down with this. The CDC and the ship have been working together. They're not quite sure where this outbreak started, but it does once again remind us that we need to wash our hands and be careful what we touch on a ship. Now, this voyage was from Tokyo to Vancouver, and it just concluded on May 14th. After the voyage, they cleaned the ship completely. They used their comprehensive deep cleaning before the next voyage. This marks the 17th gastrointestinal outbreaks this year on cruise ships. And Virgin also reported they had a few cases, not quite as many, but they also had a few on one of their recent voyages. If you knew the ship you were boarding just had an outbreak, would that change your opinion or your feeling about whether or not you're going to board the ship? Would you want to cancel your cruise if you knew that there was just an outbreak? Let me know in the comments. Our last story is a sad one. A 2-year-old child tragically passed away on board the Costa Toscana. It was on a 7-day voyage along the Western Mediterranean, just outside of Italy. The child had recently undergone heart surgery, and the family said the child was doing fine. And then the child just suddenly collapsed. They tried to revive the child, but their efforts were unsuccessful, and the child passed away. Once the vessel docked, authorities went on board and investigated, and they determined that the child passed away due to natural causes, most likely from the heart surgery. The cruise line was making arrangements to get the family and the child back to France, where they were from. So as you can imagine, this had a profound effect on the family and the crew and the passengers that witnessed that. It's always so sad when a child passes away. We seem to have had more deaths on board recently than previously. It's just so sad. So our hearts go out to the family. That wraps up our cruise news for today. From fleet expansions to onboard emergencies, the cruise world is never quiet. If you made it this far, you're officially part of the crew. Hit that subscribe button for weekly news updates and keep your cruising game strong. So let me know your thoughts about these stories in the comments. I read every single one. And until next time, we'll see you as we voyage beyond the dock. Happy cruising.